it's Jennifer of Jennifer at Home. I'm so glad you joined me today to declutter, downsize, and organize. The very first tip I have is to start early. Of course, you want to give yourself as much time as possible. And remember, don't be too hard on yourself. It took years and years to accumulate all of this excess, so don't think it's going to go away just overnight. Give yourself a little time and a little grace, and you're off to a great start. I would suggest starting with the easiest things first, the things that you don't have any sentimental attachment to, and you know they're a great excess. We had an excess amount of wine glasses, champagne, margarita glasses, beer glasses, all different styles of glasses, and we decided to part with all of those excess glasses and use a stem glass that we purchased at the Dollar Tree. These were only $1 a piece, and they're a great value. As you can see, they have a stem, and they're very nice for everyday drinking glasses for water or soda or anything like that. And we can also use these on the rare occasion we have wine or champagne or beer or something like that. We can use these very glasses for everything and eliminate all of the excess. Another thing that's easy to part with for me especially was paperwork. I don't enjoy having any extra papers or paperwork around the house. All of the old, outdated tax papers and things that can be shredded, and all of the receipts that we no longer need can be shredded. Newspapers, magazines, all of those things can easily be recycled. And of course, don't forget all of the old manuals for products you may not even own anymore. All of those things can be recycled and discarded. Before trying to decide what dressers or nightstands to take with you, I suggest that you start going ahead and going through those and decluttering and clearing out things that you just don't need or don't wear, or things you may not even want. They might even be outdated or out of style. So go ahead and part with those things, and once those things are gone, you might find that you have a dresser or two that you don't even need to take and move to the next location. Bathrooms are one of those places we often forget about when we're thinking of downsizing or decluttering. So don't forget to go through your bathroom, go through those old weathered towels and washcloths, and part with all of the extras, the shower caps, the loofahs, all of those things that have seen better days. The medications especially, all of the old cold medicine things that have expiration dates. It's time for all of those hygiene products and medications to go. When decluttering and downsizing, don't forget about all of the excess linens in your home, all of the extra quilts, sheets, pillows, comforters, all of those sorts of things, especially the ones that are weathered. It's time for those to go as well. Some of the things that I did not have trouble getting rid of, which I thought that I would never part with, are large kitchen appliances. I had so many large kitchen appliances when my family was growing and my kids were young that I never thought I would get rid of those things. However, I realized that our children live in different states, and we usually go visit them because it's much easier for us to get there and see them, especially when we start having grandchildren. Then they won't have to travel as much. So we don't need large waffle irons or roasting pans or extra large pots and things of that sort. So all of the big kitchen items and appliances have gone, except for the KitchenAid mixer, which I use very frequently on a daily basis. I love getting greeting cards as much as anyone else, especially when they have a special handwritten note inside. However, I had boxes of greeting cards that I had saved for years and years, and I just realized that that wasn't necessary. I only needed to pick maybe one or two special cards from each of the special people in my life and just save those in a nice small clear plastic box that I could see exactly what was in there. And now I can read those cards anytime I wish, and I'm hoping I'll have more of those cards coming in the future. This next category is an easy one. Junk. Get rid of all of the junk that you have at your house. And by junk, I mean all of the things that are broken or unserviceable, things that needed repaired long ago that you never ever took the time to replace, garments that need sewn or buttons are missing. All of those things need to go. You don't have time in your life when you have all of this decluttering to do and all of this organizing to get done to go back and deal with all of these broken items that just are not useful to you any longer. This next group of things isn't hard at all. Eyeglasses and electronics. If you have outdated prescriptions in your eyeglasses or even sunglasses that are scratched laying around your house that are old and out of style and you haven't worn in years, this is the time to let those things go. And electronics, as far as electronics, if you have broken electronics, things that aren't working or you don't use anymore, DVD players, CD players, any of those type of things. 8-track players, I hope you don't have 8-track players sitting around as well. But it's time for all of those things to go. Turntables that aren't working, phone chargers, any phone chargers or electronic chargers that go to things that you may not even own or that are not working any longer, outdated cell phones. This is the best time to part with these things and not take them to the next house and have to sort them and deal with them when you get there. Family photos. If you have an excessive amount of large family photos and heavy frames, this might be a time to take some of those out and only leave out your very favorite ones. Take out the large ones. I take up mine and I've put them in these clear plastic sleeves, and these are acid free, so they protect your pictures really nicely, and that way you can put them in a notebook. I use a 3-ring notebook and put those pictures in, and that way I can pull them out and easily look at them at any time I want to, and I don't have to move with the big frames or hang them all up on the walls when I have limited wall space. I had a very large box of pictures from my birth to my current age, and I had so many pictures of family and friends, and what I did was create a notebook. Let me show you this and make sure it's not upside down. I took all of the pictures from the large box and I scanned them into the Shutterfly app, and I was able to make this book of my first 50 years of life. I put hundreds of pictures in here, and this book just holds hundreds of family pictures, and I was able to type descriptions of what they were and the different years and grandparent photos, all sorts of different things, and I was able to eliminate that tremendously large box of pictures. And these papers and these books are acid free, and the acid free means that they will protect, they'll be protected, and they're not going to be deteriorating. And now that I've ordered this book, anytime I want to, I can go on the Shutterfly app, and all I have to do is click the button and order a new book. So if anything ever happens to this book, if there's a storm or fire damage, anything ever happens to any of these Shutterfly books, I can easily go to their website, and at the click of a button, I can reorder all of these books again at any time, even years into the future. So this is a great way to handle all of those boxes of photos. And don't forget to go through and take out all of the overexposed pictures or old pictures that are duplicates. Back in the year when we had to use a roll of film and put in the camera, and we weren't sure if we were going to get a good shot or not, I remember taking 2 or 3, 4 pictures of each thing. So just in case anyone had their eyes closed or something wasn't right with the picture, that I was guaranteed to have a good one. And then they were always running specials at the photo development store. And when I took the roll of film in, they would always offer me a really great deal on the second set of prints. So I would sometimes, when I took those excessive pictures and had extra ones and then ordered a second set, sometimes I would end up with 8 pictures. So that's just not necessary. It's so much better to go through, take out all of the duplicates, and if you really can't bring yourself to throw them away, give them to family members that are in the pictures or that would maybe cherish those pictures just as you would. And then let them decide if they want to keep them or part with them. But that way you'll narrow down and have a reasonable amount of pictures to save. When decluttering and downsizing, if you're going to be moving to a new location, a smaller property perhaps, make sure you double check the walls and consider all of the art pieces you have in your home, and think carefully through about what you may want to take and what is not going to be necessary in the new property. So only set aside your favorites and don't take all of the excess of large pieces of art if you don't have room for those to begin with. When downsizing and decluttering, especially if you're going to be moving to a new location, consider the space carefully. Make sure you pre-measure the rooms ahead of time if possible, and that way you can successfully plan where everything will go. And don't take excessive pieces of furniture. Extra furniture that won't fit in your property is just going to be an extra burden once you get there. Not only that, the trouble of moving it, it's always best to part with it before you even leave that location, and that way you don't have to pay or have somebody lifting and moving it for no extra reason. Thank you for hanging in here with me. I have only a couple more things to mention. One of the toughest categories, though, are things that belong to our children, things that we've saved from their past. But at this time, when they're grown and out of the house, It's a great time to give them all of those things. That way it releases the burden from us for keeping and storing those items. And after all, we've saved them for our children. We've saved them to give to them one day. Well, this is that day. Go ahead and give them those things that you saved, and be sure, no matter what, that you let them know that these are their things. They belong to them, so they can do with them as they please, no questions asked. One of the most helpful things I've done is gotten rid of all of the big dark colored totes and storage bins and cardboard boxes. I don't really like to have things stored in there that I can't see what's in there. And dark bins are really hard to tell what, even if you label them, you still can't really see everything in there. And cardboard boxes are really bad about harboring bugs and dampness and mold and mildew. So I've gotten rid of all of those things and strictly gone with clear plastic containers. I have so many totes and bins that now I can just stack them and easily see what's in every last one of them. That has been very helpful. And the one last tip I have is don't go out and keep shopping. Don't be going around to yard sales and estate sales and buying things, or going out to stores and looking for discounts or after Christmas sales. These are all things that I've learned to do without, and it has just really made my life so much more simple and so much easier. It's so nice not to even be tempted in the slightest way by all of the excess that I don't need. I hope this video has really been helpful for you and encouraged you in your downsizing, decluttering, and organizing. I hope you'll like, share, and subscribe, and click the bell so that you'll be notified every time I have a new video coming out.